Okay, about her conversations. She had talked to the elite women, well-educated, middle-class, upper-middle-class women of Boston. The three Peabody sisters from Salem, Elizabeth Palmer Peabody, who provided the place where she could meet for her conversations, her sister Sophia, who married Nathaniel Hawthorne, and her sister, the other sister, Mary, who married Horace Mann. She also met with Mary Channing, Elizabeth Bancroft. It was a who's who of the Blue Stockings of Boston, and many representatives of the Boston Female Anti-Slavery Society. She talked over 5 years. According to this website, more than 200 women participated as the subjects turned to education, ethics, culture, ignorance, vanity, woman, and persons who never awake to life in this world. That was her theme. Yes. She wanted to be awake to life in this world, intellectually and spiritually. But if you read, and I was thinking, you know, when I presented this to undergraduates, they sometimes got lost in Margaret Fuller because she'd never used, would never use a MapQuest. She would never use GPS. She wanted to be able to soar and to expand and to reach out in many directions, like a bird flying over the landscape, to come back to where she began and then to fly out again. Would you agree, Fritz? Yes. Well, and so if I had been in those conversations, she would have said, okay, she's pretty intelligent, but she wants to know the facts. Where do we go from here? What is the agenda? So in my heart of hearts, I would relate much more to Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Declaration of Sentiments, 1848, who said, you know, man, like King George, it was based on the Declaration, has violated our rights in these ways, 1, 2, 3, and this is what we want, including the right to vote. But this was not Margaret Fuller. So she is somewhat hard to follow. But as I enjoyed rereading this, because it was sort of revisiting someone I hadn't read, you know, last week. So I began to think in many, many ways she was very, very modern for her times, more perhaps modern than I gave her credit for before, because she had all these literary and digressions here and there, and you kept saying, now what is she really arguing for?